Hi, I'm Aaron Moss, founder of 01, the creators of MDOQ. MDOQ is a platform as a service application to improve productivity for businesses working with Magento. MDOQ is a Zen Framework 3 application utilizing Docker extensively, and it already has a REST API with 100% coverage. MDOQ allows truly concurrent development that can scale infinitely. MDOQ has been built using the 12-factor ethos. It supports multi-developer, multi-role workflow when adopting agile principles for Magento. Just to elaborate slightly, it enables many more roles than just development to engage with the platform much more closely. So first-line support can roll up instances to review, reproduce, investigate issues. QA or test departments can create instances for manual or automated front-end tests. Business owners or marketing staff can create sandbox instances for experimentation or even training. What we have seen from businesses using MDOQ is that they feel much more in control of the platform, with increased ability to innovate new ideas without causing developer bottlenecks. One example of this is with Magento Marketplace, one of Magento's best assets. Technically, it's possible with Magento 1 and 2 to install your own extension, although we would never recommend this for several reasons. However, with MDOQ, not only is this possible, it's possible without any developer involvement, and in this short video I'll demonstrate this. So I'm Aaron from the Acme Stuff Corporation, and here on the top left you'll see my production website. This is a simple connector instance which will connect to my live Magento 2 production store, facilitated with a simple extension that you can find via the extension marketplace. What I've just done now is to create a new instance, so I can create an instance for a customization, a bug, a new release candidate, or create a new live connector instance. So I've gone ahead and created a new feature instance because I want to install the fantastic layered navigation extension from Aheadworks. Also to note at this time, we are partnering up with major extension development companies so that all their extensions are freely available within the MDOQ application. So as a business, you can try out a commercial extension before you buy. This gives you the chance to test the extension, whether it suits your needs as a business, and indeed whether there are any other unforeseen costs, potential extension conflicts, or any other unknowns which you could capture before purchase. And it really gets you the opportunity to see the extension functioning in your website before you make a final commitment. Depending on the complexity and size of your Magento store, this process typically takes around about 2 to 4 minutes. There are a great deal of extensions on Magento Marketplace already which could potentially go live with little or no input required from either a developer or even a front-end developer. Currently MDOQ is in beta. Although we've hit our MVP target this month, we're now finalising the scalability aspects so that it can comfortably scale from supporting 2,000 concurrent instances as it does now to 200,000 or 2 million, whatever the consumer demands may be. There we go. Once available, you have a fully fledged, functioning replica of your production site. You can now commence working on this in whichever way you prefer. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and install a commercial extension. So here's a link to the front end of the store. Expect a slower pace than with your production environment because it's a development instance and everything will be running in developer mode. So we're going to go ahead and use our toolkit. And we're going to install the AheadWorks extension. Again, you can install from a trusted list of extensions, which will grow into the hundreds, if not thousands, shortly. Or you can install a commercial extension package, or alternatively, you could use Composer. However, this example illustrates the level of automation undertaken by the application means that no developer has to get involved in any of this process from beginning to end. The process happening in the background here is a download of the package, unpack, analyze the contents to locate the extension files which could be packaged up slightly differently on a vendor by vendor basis. So we identify the root folder of the extension package and it will be appropriately installed into the correct place in app code. Those files will also be submitted to the Git branch, which has automatically been created for this working instance. Communication with Git is also fully integrated. All push, pull requests, merging, tagging is all integrated into the system. Now when this extension is installed, which as you can see now we've created a site replica and installed a commercial extension still in less than 5 minutes. We do have access to an array of tools for the developer, command line tools, MySQL GUI tools, code, direct access to the code, and also again the Magento tool belt, which allows us to run setup, upgrade, production deploy, and the majority of the PHP bin Magento commands available. So I'm going to go ahead and create a deployment for this extension now, so we can expedite the process through to a production ready build. This will execute all the required PHP bin Magento commands, including setup, upgrade, deploying all the static assets, ready for a release to our production infrastructure. There are a great deal of extensions on Magento Marketplace already which could potentially go live with little or no input required from either a developer or even a front-end developer. Currently MDOQ is in beta. Although we've hit our MVP target this month, we're now finalising the scalability aspects so that it can comfortably scale from supporting 2,000 concurrent instances as it does now to 200,000 or 2 million, whatever the consumer demands may be. Currently MDOQ has facilitated over 6,000 production tasks for Magento 1 and 2. It has already handled over 500 releases in the last 12 months, and these are real deployments to live transactional sites. Clients using MDOQ are on average achieving daily releases on Magento 1 and 2, also supporting zero downtime M2 deployments. MDOQ is production infrastructure agnostic. It's able to plug into any production infrastructure currently in use, predominantly with one of our partners, UK Fast, also Nexus, and of course Amazon Web Services. On average, developers using MDOQ are able to start work in approximately 3 minutes. There we go. So we now have, this is some of the feedback from the bin Magento output, so we can see the commands that have been run, and we can see that we're effectively in production mode with a full successful deployment having been executed. Now we can go ahead and test our instance. And there we see it, we have the advanced layered navigation extension installed and fully functional. So at this time I may want to pass this instance across to QA for further testing, to stakeholders, business owners, potentially to a front-end developer should the client or I wish any further visual modifications. Alternatively, if I'm happy, I can proceed through to deployment. I'm going to select the master branch. Now I then get some options to automatically tag and prepare for a full deployment. This process again is fully automated and involves packaging the deployment that's just been tested up in a manner that fully mirrors the Git repository tag that's just been created also. So this deployment will now also proceed through a process of approval. So we can pass this to the client for approval. Upon approval, the pull request is approved and subject to any potential conflicts is approved and merged into master and tagged. And MDOQ is now cleaning up and deleting that instance, which can now be thrown away. Just a note, MDOQ does also have integration with Ghost Inspector for automated regression tests, which can be run and executed at the end of completion of any piece of work. This can then halt the process of merging back into a parent UAT or development branch, or indeed back into master branch for deployment. So now I'm going to go ahead and perform a release. The system communicates with the production infrastructure, determines the current tag, determines the changes. It will check for a matching deployment which has just been packaged up, and we're going to go ahead and do a standard deployment. Note here that we're not doing a zero downtime deployment because it's an extension. We know this extension requires setup upgrade to be run, and unless we are deploying purely static assets, then standard deployment should always be executed. The system is now executing approximately 30 steps to check the validity of a deployment and do some pre-flight checks to ensure the deployment will proceed successfully. MDOQ has a high level of automation already built into the platform, with much more in the pipeline. We're able to perform downtime and zero downtime releases for both Magento 1 and Magento 2 with auto detect fails and rollback where possible. On average, we've analysed developer productivity improvements of approximately 100%. MDOQ is a platform as a service which offers truly groundbreaking functionality to all versions of Magento 1 and 2, along with a vast array of developer support tools designed specifically for Magento. Over 3 years in development, it is the culmination of many thousands of hours of Magento development, operational and QA work with clients from a team of certified developers in the UK. MDOQ is instrumental in improving developer workflow, particularly with agile development, allowing rapid, isolated website replicas to be created allowing feature development or bug resolution in an effective, structured manner, aided by time-saving tools to support the whole process through to deploying code to a production environment. And there we go. That's how to deploy with no developer interaction using Magento 2 and MDOQ. Thank you.